So, on last night's episode of Married to Medicine, we finally had the ponderosa of all ponderosas with the ladies confronting Heavenly for a heavenly intervention. Oh, yes, we are talking Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 3, Heavenly Intervention, okay? And what an intervention it was. Listen, baby, I would be on camera right now, but it is so much going on with doing news and videos today. I just got to get it in how I can get it in. The people outside doing the lawn work and lawnmowers is going and whatnot. So y'all, listen, I'm going through shenanigans right now. But we still gonna get y'all this content today, okay? Because I got feelings about the episode, and I know you got feelings too, and we need to share them together because that's what we do as a community here. Sky Squad, we are back in the building. Yes, indeed. Listen, as you enter the chatterization, go ahead and let us know what you would rate this episode on a scale of 1 through 10. Yes, indeed. I said 1 through 10. And for me, I'm going to give it a 9.9. I'm going to give it a 9.9 because I just feel like for as much as I was interested in seeing where this intervention went, it was kind of, I don't know, like I need to know y'all feelings about it. How do you feel? Because there's a part of me that thought to myself, Dr. Contessa, I thought you wanted to have a one-on-one ponderosa with Dr. Heavenly. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can sit down and work through the issues. Because confronting her like this is not going to be for the best. Now, it's going to make some good TV, but it ain't going to be for the best for you, okay? Now, I don't know if this was a production setup type of situation where they said, you know what, I think what would make this even more interesting is if you collected all of the ladies, told some of the ladies, but didn't tell the others, okay? So I want to know what you guys think. The episode to me was good. It was riveting to watch everybody enter the space and not really know what was going on, except for some people. We got some quite interesting interactions. 2 people was about to leave because they didn't want to leave their phone nowhere. And to be quite honest with you, I don't blame you. I'm not going to just leave my phone down someplace in somebody's cookie jar. You know what I'm saying? I might need my phone. Like, you just leave me alone. I'll put my phone in front of me. I won't text you. Just tell me what's going on, okay? So let's start at the beginning. So Dr. Simone meets up with Quad, who is surprisingly on time because y'all know they say Quad be notoriously late. Okay, that's what they say, not me. So anyway, they catch up about, Mason, Quad's nephew, and Quad's mom being in the house. They talk about Miles dating the girlfriend. And the name is Andrea, but Quad keeps saying Andrea, okay? Because y'all know how we do it. We be putting the emphasis on the parts of the name that we want to put emphasis on. So Quad gonna call the girl Andrea, despite the girl's name being Andrea. You know what I'm saying? There's the Andrea, there's the Andrea, okay? And then for us, that we're gonna be calling her short Drea, okay? That's all we're gonna call her. But anyway, I digress. Down to Toya's rental house. Now, producers, y'all are shady boots because every time you see Toya's house, they put Toya's rental house, never leaving us to think it is anything other than the rental they are renting, okay? Anyway, Dr. Contessa stops by, and I love Toya's version of self-care. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I feel like I need Toya's level of self-care and just staying at home, chopping up some flowers and things like that, basically doing nothing but spending the money that's coming in. You know what I'm saying? And let me digress on that because being a stay-at-home mom is a lot of work because caring for individuals, listen, it is no easy feat. But the way Toya lives, it just seems so luxurious. And Dr. Contessa can't help but marvel at it either. Meanwhile, we learn that Dr. Contessa is hurt because Heavenly has said on her, Toya's hurt because Dr. Heavenly has said on her blog that Eugene is very in touch with his feminine side. And, I always hate, those types of discussions when somebody says, that man is in touch with his feminine side. No, that man is probably easily able to express emotion, which is a very positive thing. It's a positive aspect of any man when he can allow himself open enough to be vulnerable, to talk about his feelings, emotions, and express those emotions And it is usually that type of commentary that keeps a lot of black men from being able to discover and to reveal and to express their own frustrations, problems, issues, and also to be vulnerable enough to show those types of emotions in the first place. So I do not like that rhetoric at all, baby. I don't like it at all. But anyway, I don't even know if that's what she meant by his feminine side, but that's what I took from it. So that's where I'm at with it. But anyway, Dr. Contessa suggests, why don't we have an intervention? Okay, so let's call Simone. So let's talk about her, because you know she be talking about Simone too over there down there to that internet. Okay, so Dr. Contessa wants to assemble all of Dr. Heavenly's greatest hits on YouTube. Okay, and Dr. Simone equates Dr. Heavenly to a bull that will run you over, apologize, and then do it all over again. They want her to see and admit that she is wrong. It ain't gonna work. Anyway, Dr. Jackie meets with a pregnant patient. Okay, I don't really know much about what else happened in that scene because I kind of turned my attention to my phone for a second. But anyway, we know that the nanny, Miss Gomez, is leaving Anila and the kids after 5 years of employ, and she drives off into the sunset, I'm sure cackling to herself because she is ready for her freedom and to get her freak on. And the kids are crying because they don't know who will make the pinto beans. I be crying too because pinto beans be good, okay? Especially on, what, is it New Year's Day? Is that when we supposed to eat these pinto beans? Oh, no, that's black eyed peas. Never mind, I forget. Anyway, back over to Toya's rental home, okay? The rental home, okay? So anyway, apparently the sleep number bed is amazing according to Dr. Eugene. And I keep thinking to myself, I need to order me one of those. Anyway, Dr. Eugene is working from sun up till sundown, okay? Till 10 p.m. at night. He's only working clinically, but in order to make that same money that he was making before, he has to work more hours clinically to make the same amount of money he was making before. I got an explanation of what exactly that means last night, but because my brain ain't really firing on all cylinders right at the moment because I got so much going on. What I will tell you is this: I understand it. Listen. Sometimes you got to do a little bit when you change your situation a little bit in the workplace. Sometimes you got to do a little bit more to continue to make that same amount of money because Toya needs to be able to do her nice things, okay? In whatever rental house she chooses, all right? So anyway, she advises him, hey, you need to take a little more time for yourself. But in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if he's taking any more time for himself, then he definitely not going to be able to pay for all the things that you want to have done, the new houses and such, the rentals, the elevators, the pools, the helicopter pads and everything else that you want, the golf course and all of that for the next house. So this man has got to work from sun up to sundown in order to accommodate your self-care, okay? Meanwhile, but listen, I'm not mad at a little self-care. So I'm with you, Toya. However you can get it, girl, get it. Because I need some myself, but I digress because this ain't about me. Anyway, Dr. Eugene really talks about how he feels like he's walking in mud, and I definitely can relate to that feeling. But again, I'm making it about me. Let me step back, okay? And he mentions that a lot of physicians are getting out of medicine post the panorama, and I don't blame them. But I mean, some of y'all got to stay because we need doctors on staff at the hospitals, okay? So the lines don't be 12 hours long. I digress again. Anyway, he feels burnt out and he wants to diversify his work, which is probably for the best. Meanwhile, Cecil and Simone are getting started working on their book. Yes, this relationship book is about to come to fruition. So Omarosa is meeting up with them, and they have been friends with Omarosa for years. Okay, she's gotten them, and she has gotten her own $1 million book deal. Michael, the son, calls, and he speaks to Omarosa on the phone. I got to tell y'all the truth. Let me tell y'all my Omarosa story real quick, just because, I might as well. So I goes to one of my friend's house when I'm in LA. I'm not going to name my friend because I don't want to get her in trouble or nothing like that. But anyway, and I doubt Omarosa watching this anyway, but my friend like to play cards and games and stuff like that. Y'all know I don't really like a game night, but I love my friend. So anyway, I'm there and Omarosa is there. So while I'm there, it's Father's Day. So I'm calling my dad while I'm there. And she's like, who are you talking to? I said, I'm talking to my daddy. She said, let me speak to your daddy. So she gets on the phone with my dad, okay, wishes him happy Father's Day, talks to my dad for a minute like she known him all her life, and then hands me the phone back. Y'all like your daddy, okay? And I was thinking to myself, now listen, Politics aside, you know, at that point in time, I'm a guest in somebody's home. I don't know this lady from Adam at this point. But what I can tell you is I understand what Cecil and Simone said, because ultimately, to me, the woman was nice to me. And when you are nice to me and you are nice to my friends, listen, I don't know what else to say. So that's my experience with Omarosa. And to be quite honest with you, I be thinking sometimes that her reality TV personality is more of a persona for the work of it all. Now, I can't speak to the politics, and I don't know where she stands on her politics, but I'm just telling you that as a person, that was my experience, okay? Meanwhile, they get into the nitty gritty of the book details. You know, Cecil and Simone both come from divorced families, and Omarosa wants to know, you know, what the writing schedule is going to be. And she said that she committed to 4 hours a day when she was writing her book, and that's how much Cecil is willing to commit. But you know, Dr. Simone got to be delivering these babies, so I don't think she got, you know, 4 or 5 hours a day to commit to this. But somehow this book is going to get done. I am quite sure. Now, we have yet to see Dr. Heavenly in this episode, but oh, here it comes. Okay. So Dr. Contessa in her Storm wig, okay, not the living legend Storm Monroe, okay, but her Storm from the X-Men wig, okay. She is at her house prepping for this event. Nobody knows what they coming for except Toya and Simone, okay. Everybody else thinks it's a movie night. Now, she wants to take everybody's phone when they get in so they can't call Dr. Heavenly when they find out exactly what is going on. But for some reason, Toya is the person that has to collect the phones, and she probably ain't the best person to do so because she don't have the best bedside manner, and I don't think anyway. And so her being a greeter at the door to collect the phones is probably not the best look. Meanwhile, Toya got 2 phones. I don't know what the first one for. I don't know what the second one for. But you know, when they have a second phone, they say that be the burner phone, okay? I don't know why she got a burner phone. You might need a burner phone if you got a regular house and you got a rental house. You got a lot of things going on. So Toya, you know, maybe in her self-care, she sends everybody that get on her nerves to her burner phone that she don't even answer, okay? That might be what she does for her self-care. And I might need to employ that myself. Although I don't have a lot of people calling me except the spam people. And then it says spam likely and I just ignore them. Or sometimes when I'm in the mood, I get on the phone and I say, shut up and don't call me no more. I do that. I do. I really do. So anyway, Toya has low expectations for Dr. Heavenly. Simone is in need of some Heavenly Crown Royale to set the mood, okay? Anila arrives first, and she got questions about why she's got to put her phone away, but she does. So Quad is like, I don't want to put my phone up in there. You know, and why ain't your phone in there? Why ain't Simone's phone in there? And Quad is like, I'm not putting my phone in that bucket. So Toya says, bye, and Quad leaves. She actually leaves. She's about to go home. So anyway, they all go get her and explain that there's a reason for the phone having to be put up. Dr. Jackie arrives. And this is the most hilarious interaction I saw all night, okay? She don't want to put her phone in the bucket. And Toya says, everybody got to put their phone in the bucket. What makes you so special? Dr. Jackie in her confessional. Well, I don't think Toya understands what it means to be a doctor, okay? A doctor who is always on call because the pregnant women always gonna be delivering their babies. Dr. Jackie then says, Mrs. MD better sit down because the real MD is in the building, baby. I said, that is why Dr. Jackie is the GOAT. Though she didn't shade her to her face, that drag was epic, baby. It was epic, okay? Meanwhile, Dr. Simone, a.k.a. Olivia Pope, has to go get Dr. Jackie because she about to leave too. And she realizes that Toya is the wrong greeter. Toya, what y'all should have done was greeted them at the door with a shot, okay? So that would have made having to take the phone a little bit easier to digest because people can digest a lot of things a lot easier when some shots are involved as soon as they walk in the door, okay? So that's a tip for y'all. If y'all having to get together, you want the people to relax early, okay? You make them take some shots as soon as they walk in the door. See how that party turned out, okay? Tell me about it later. Meanwhile, they head into the movie room. Toya and Quad are like, this is some ish about to go down. No, Anila and Quad are like, it's some ish about to go down. So Dr. Contessa lets them know this is an intervention for Dr. Heavenly's channel. Quad says, y'all are low down and dirty, okay? And Anila doesn't like where this is going either. So finally, Dr. Heavenly arrives. Dun, dun, dun. So Quad feels like this is an ambush. And Toya says, well, actually, her YouTube is an ambush. And I'm like, well, I can see how you would say that. But by the technical definition of the word ambush, I don't think that necessarily qualifies. Her YouTube might be a blind side, but it probably shouldn't be a blind side at this point because you know she gonna do it, okay? You know she gonna drag you. I don't understand. You should just get on your YouTube channel and drag her right back. But anyway, I digress. When Dr. Heavenly arrives, everybody looking awkward. Dr. Contessa reveals that she got her storm wig from Dr. Heavenly Beauty Supply Store, okay? And she asks if, Dr. Heavenly's like, are we watching a movie? And Dr. Jackie is like, I don't think that this is it's not going to be a movie. It definitely ain't going to be Hallmark, okay? So Dr. Contessa boldly sits down right beside Dr. Heavenly and hits the play button. So Dr. Heavenly gets to cackling at everything that she is saying on the screen as she drags the living daylights out of every woman in that room, okay? Quad herself gets upset about the fact that Dr. Heavenly said that Quad slept with a married man. And it ends with all the things that she said about Dr. Contessa. But best believe everybody in that room was included, okay? So Dr. Heavenly, after she finishes cackling her butt off, addresses Dr. Contessa and says she could have talked to her about this privately. Dr. Heavenly said everything that she said on that video, she meant it. And she said everybody in this room talks about everybody. She just does it on another platform outside of this one that they own right now. And Dr. Heavenly drags Contessa outside and they get into this heated screaming match, face to face. Face off, baby. I've been waiting for this moment just to see what was going to happen. But Dr. Heavenly, I think she realizes Dr. Contessa is really actually very upset. And you could tell by the screechiness in the voice and the vocals. You know what I'm saying? When people get upset and they get that screech in their voice that sound like they're going to be hoarse later, that's when you know, okay, it's real. So Dr. Heavenly get to trying to hug her. Let me love on you, girl. Let me show you some love. Let me show you some love, baby. Let me show you some love. And Dr. Contessa is like, get off on me. Okay, get off on me. Okay, and so Dr. Simone wonders like, oh, should we go outside? Because the rest of them are still in the movie room while Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa are arguing outside. Dr. Jackie says, nuh-uh, let them handle it. I don't even have my phone with me to call 911 should something go wrong. Meanwhile, Dr. Contessa is screaming that Dr. Heavenly is the one who has said everything about her marriage online. She's the one who put out all that negative, nasty information about Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott. And Dr. Heavenly is like, listen, I'm trying to apologize, but Dr. Contessa continues to go off. She then says that Dr. Heavenly is making $20 off of them on the internet. Let me pause right here. Okay, for those of you who don't know, all right, let me go ahead and tell you. I tell everybody to start a YouTube channel. Why? Because YouTube does pay. Now, if you think that Dr. Heavenly is on that YouTube only making $20, okay, off of talking about them and recapping that show, you are sadly mistaken, okay? Because as you guys know, YouTube affords you the opportunity to also promote your other business endeavors, and Dr. Heavenly definitely takes the time to do that. And I can also tell you that based on what I believe her AdSense to probably be, I am sure she's making quite more than $20 off of them, okay? So let me just clarify that. Now, I ain't saying she getting rich off of it, but I'm sure she ain't making no chump change either, okay? Let me just say that, okay? So anyway, Dr. Heavenly then is like, you know what? You mad at me for stuff that your husband did. Because you did, in fact, talk about your relationship on this show. In fact, that was what the last season was mostly about. And we get flashbacks of Dr. Contessa basically saying she don't know what happens, you know, when she's not around with the husband. And granted, none of us know what happens when we not around our partners, significant others, boyfriends, situationships, and whatnot. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, It was a story on the show that propelled the season forward, and nobody can deny that, okay? So Dr. Contessa is going off, and Dr. Simone is trying to drag her, away from the situation. So as Dr. Heavenly is leaving, she ends up cursing Dr. Simone out. She's like, you a flip-flopper. And she knows that Toya was in on this whole situation too. So that was the heavenly intervention. And I think it was a to be continued. It was it not? I can't even remember at this point. All I know is I was hyped up on this episode, and it was good, baby. So this intervention was definitely worth it because it made for some good TV. Now, listen, I got to run and prepare for this Real Housewives of Atlanta review. So y'all know this is all being done out of order today. But I just got to let you know how things are rocking and rolling over here in the production studio. Okay, Sky Squad. So listen, I'm going to catch you guys in the next video, and leave me your thoughts on this situation down in the chatterization down below. Y'all know I love y'all. Peace.